purpose is to not allow enemies of Rivers State to destroy the political structures he has built since 2015. The former governor said this while receiving the Rivers State caucus of the National Assembly, who paid him a solidarity visit on Thursday to declare their support for him, even as the political crisis in the state lingers.
I'm not interested in the governance of Rivers State. I'm not interested. I'm here sitting as a governor. All the functions I have. But I'm interested in the political structure of Rivers State, which we have built for years. If anybody dares to begin to bring it down, the person will face the crisis he wants in his life. Yes. I'm not interested in 25%, for the sake 5 billion issue. I mean, anybody who puts his hand in our structure, anything you see, you take.
The former governor of Rivers State further took a swipe at those accusing him of making demands from his successor.
People who are carrying propaganda of 25%, you must be fools. You don't know anything. People are saying the approval ceiling is 5 million now. You must be fools. I have fought for the state and I continue to fight for the state. So I respect Mr. President, but anybody who knows me knows that I'm one man who believes in loyalty. I am continuing to be loyal to Mr. President. But when my life is threatened, I'm going to tell President, okay, sorry, my life is threatened. I need to protect my life.
The House of Representatives Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda spoke on behalf of the delegation, which includes 3 senators and 11 members of the House of Representatives from Rivers State.
In this connection, we unequivocally condemn the shocking and thoughtless ascent at the Rivers State House of Assembly Harrow Chambers. In doing so, we reaffirm, Your Excellency, our unalloyed loyalty to your leadership and humbly urge you to address all issues related to the recent unhealthy developments in our beloved state in your characteristics, restraint and deep resolve to the ultimate good of our dear state and beloved people and to the glory of God. We believe in your ability and competence to handle these matters.
Meanwhile, activist Aisha Yusufu has weighed in on the response of former Governor Nyesom Wike to the political conflict in Rivers State.
Wike is rattled. Wike is rattled. He's scared. He's afraid, but he's trying to hide it. That's what bullies do. He really got to him. I'm sure he didn't expect this thing, and that's why he's talking all of those things and bringing in obedience and whatever. What's obedience business? Go and face your L with the person, the stooge that you put in there that is turning against you, and to actually see him more or less admit to the fact that they were actually trying to use the constitutional instrument of impeachment to impute to this person, because what he's talking about, that there's something called abuse of power.
In the meantime, the Rivers State chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN, Chijioke Ihunwo, has criticized some PDP chieftains under the aegis of Rivers elders for pledging loyalty to the FCT minister Nyesom Wike on the recent political crisis in the state. Mr. Ihunwo, at a press conference in Port Harcourt, said the elders spoke for themselves and not for the generality of Rivers people. He said there was never a time when the Rivers people appointed them to take such a position on their behalf.
First of all, let me tell the Rivers people, and especially the youth, they should not be troubled by the statement of the elders. These are political elders. We have elders in our states who are respected, the likes of Fosada George, the likes of Dr. Peter Udili, and others. These are the elder statesmen in our state. And I want to say that it's quite unfortunate that at this point in time, they are making such unguided statements. I want to call on the elders, as they claim to be, that they should please not cause crisis in our states. What I expected them to do is to mediate between the governor and the FCT minister, but they are doing otherwise. As far as the youth of Rivers is concerned, we have pitched them to support the governor of our state, similar to Joseph Obara.
The chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria also called on Rivers youth to continue to give their support to Governor Siminalayi Fubara for the development of the state.
We have made our statement that we are supporting His Excellency Sasminaji because he represents the younger generation. We have done so that we are also going to do a world press conference in the community to tell Nigerians that look, Rivers State, the youth are fully in support of him because we voted for him. The people you see making those statements in Abuja does not come out on election day to vote. We are the people voting. So we have to protect what we voted for.
Recall that some PDP chieftains under the aegis of the Rivers Elders led by Ferdinand Alabraba pledged their loyalty to the former governor and cautioned what they called the newfound friends of Governor Fubara to reconsider their actions, which they said could lead to total confusion and disorder in the state. Still on this, Port Harcourt-based lawyer Otoye Amakri has advised the Rivers Elders to remain neutral in settling the political crisis between Governor Fubara and the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike. Mr. Amakri spoke with correspondent Shobi Oruwari.
There are some people that are known as political party elders. There are also those that are known as elders because of their age and because of their contribution to the development. Unfortunately, this latter group has not been part of any consideration by any government so far. I think that the elders should play the role of real elders by not being biased or partisan, and they should call the major actors in this present chaos that we have and talk to them privately.
On his part, APC's Chizi A described the call for Governor Fubara to apologize to former Governor Nyesom Wike as unfair and insensitive. He said the elders spoke on behalf of their party.
What will Sim Fubara correct when Sim Fubara have only said, let them come and tell me my offense? That's the only thing Governor Sim Fubara have said. All other things being said are from what people are assuming. Those things are an assumption of the likelihood of why the governor is being tied to the neck. That's why would assembly sit when the chambers were formed? What's the reason? Because they have not said anything even against the said Nyesom Wike. He only said, let those that want to impeach me come and tell me my reason. Would the governor apologize for saying that? No, not at all. The governor will never attempt that.
In another development, a group known as Ndibo in Rivers and Bayelsa State led by Eze Sam Wokolo says the 2023 Igbo New Yam Festival scheduled to be held on Saturday in Port Harcourt has been cancelled. Eze Wokolo made this known in a statement. He said the event was shifted due to the current political situation in Rivers State. Eze Wokolo said the decision was made after several consultations with different Igbo stakeholders and groups. He said the Igbo people, as a peace-loving tribe, will not want a situation where hoodlums may hijack the event. He said a new date will be fixed for the Igbo New Yam Festival. He apologized for any inconvenience the postponement would cause those who plan to attend the event. The Ndibo, however, used the opportunity to appeal to aggrieved persons and politicians in River State to sheathe their sword and cautioned Igbo youth in River State not to be involved in anything that would cause the breakdown of the law. Moving on, fishermen in Boni, Andoni and Opobo Nkoro local government area of River State are calling for an end to incessant pirate attacks on them. They say they are attacked while fishing at sea every 2 days. One of the fishermen tells correspondent Shobi Oruwari that during such attacks, the harbor engines of their boat are taken away by these pirates.
Right now for government to airport when a government now then get the security and then get power and then go feel protect life and property. We will be fisherman we did there for 2 years now we don't suffer plenty. They carry big boats come carry all our where they don't come they collect engine. Sometimes when they come once in a week, sometimes 2 times in a week. 2 years now they don't do this thing. Fisherman don't suffer again, they don't collect all their engine finish. No way to go fishing, no way to go river. We know if you feed Pekin, some Pekin they go school because they don't see anything to work to carry the train them go school again.
The fishermen say their livelihoods have been impacted by these attacks as efforts to curb them have not yielded result.
We don't know whether they come, they just come, just from nowhere to come out. We don't know any place where they come out from. When they jump on the catch until they cover their fish, nobody's a big girl. When they bring the boat to come with big engine, the engine where they big come, fisherman nowhere fisherman you want young go, fisherman no fear run. They hold gem, collect all their engine finish. We don't know where they come from. We know even shall big gem. This country now, know they feel make fish day market. They make fish because when you enter market now, fish know they because people they go kill the fish. They don't they suffer for this people they collect engine.
Our correspondent reports that the affected fishermen live in fishing settlements like Oyorokototo, Amariaria, Ajegunle, Ageri, and Ota Ewa in the 3 local government area of River State. Still to come, more inmates in Port Harcourt get state pardon. Stay with us.
My Niger Delta people, hope don't come. Hope
Simeon Chibozo Amadi has pardoned 50 inmates standing trial at the Port Harcourt Maximum Correctional Centre. Justice Chibozo Amadi said the exercise is in compliance with the provision of the Criminal Justice Law of Rivers State and the Special Provision Act of the Law of the Federation. He, however, urged the police to ensure thorough investigation are done before charging suspects in court.
Our custodial centers should not be warehouses for the forgotten, nor should they be breeding grounds for hardened criminals. Rather, they should be institutions of transformation, where individuals can reflect on their past actions, learn from their mistakes, and receive the necessary tools and support for their rehabilitation. To achieve this, we need collaboration among all stakeholders involved in the criminal administration system. The judiciary, the correctional services, law enforcement agencies, legal aid organizations, and community leaders must work hand in hand to ensure justice prevails.
Also speaking, the controller of the Port Harcourt Maximum Correctional Centre, Felix Lawrence, said the pardon has reduced the number of inmates at the centre.
Permit me, my Lord, to use this opportunity to appreciate you on your efforts to decongest the custodial centers in the state. I took over 4,000 plus in maximum custodial center for Port Harcourt, but today we have dropped down to over 1,000 lower than what I have inherited last year June. My Lord, that has really shown that the criminal justice system in Rivers State is working.
The exercise is part of the activities to mark the 2023-2024 legal year in the state and also decongest the Port Harcourt Maximum Correctional Centre. Correspondent Emekotoka reports that the inmates granted pardons were those who had been at the correctional centre for 5 to 9 years, awaiting trial, and no case has been filed against them. Away from that, the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC says the health condition of its president, Joe Ajaero, is critical and may be flown abroad for full medical examination after he was beaten by alleged agents of the state, including policemen on Wednesday in Owerri, the Imo State capital. President Bola Tinubu has appealed to all candidates and electorate participating in next week's governorship election in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states to ensure free and fair elections. President Tinubu made the appeal on Thursday in Abuja while presenting the APC flags to the candidates in the upcoming elections through the effort of party officials and supporters. In the meantime, the PDP in Akwa Ibom State has dragged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to court for allegedly appointing a member of his party, the APC, as resident electoral commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The suit was filed by the PDP chairman in the state, Anyekan Aban, and Secretary Harrison Ibu. They are challenging the choice of Etekamba Umoren as the rec for the state. Elsewhere, the National Assembly passed the 2023 supplementary budget yesterday. For more on this, catch the business news at 7. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has called on the police to address the trend of killing of young girls for ritual purposes in the country. The House also urged the IGP to set up a crack team to conduct a thorough investigation to expose the cartels behind the killing and bring them to justice. The member representing Andoni Opobo Nkoro Federal Constituency, Awaji Inombeka Biante, who moved the motion, regretted the recent killing of 20-year-old Justina Itwene, an undergraduate student of the Department of Biochemistry, University of Port Harcourt, by one Damian Okoligwe, who is also an undergraduate student of the same university last week. In other news, the world marked the day to end impunity for crimes against journalists yesterday, and female journalists joined to call on governments across the world to ensure that journalists are free to carry out their duty without fear of abuse. Rivers State correspondent of the Guardian newspaper, Anne Godwin, tells correspondent Constance Mega that female journalists also face intimidation, assault, and sexual harassment, among other forms of abuse. She believes that prosecution of perpetrators can deter other abusers.
there is need for an urgent passage of the gender-based policies. The 10th Assembly has given a nod that it will revisit that bill rejected last year. That will help to stop some of this violence against female journalists. And I believe when that is done, it will also bridge the gap of information, because the implication of this violence is impediment to global information landscape. Issues of violence against journalists generally be put to a stop.
On a part, the UN Special Rapporteur on Freedom and Expression and Opinion, Irene Khan, said more than 1,700 journalists have been killed in the 7 years since UNESCO began keeping records. She spoke at a panel session during a conference organized by UNESCO to mark the day.
2.6 billion people are going to the polls next year, including the largest and the oldest democracies in the world, India and the US. And elections are flashpoints where we see all the ongoing threats to journalists become magnified. While we focus on elections, we also need to see what's happening before elections, after elections. And I cannot talk today without thinking about 21 Palestinian journalists, 4 Israeli journalists, and 1 Lebanese journalist who have recently been killed in this 1 month alone.
The theme for this year's war was violence against journalists, the integrity of elections, and the role of public leadership. And on the international scene, Israel's military says it has completed the encirclement of Gaza City and has been attacking outposts, headquarters, and other Hamas infrastructure. The UN says the 20 people were killed at a school and 4 shelters were damaged in the Gaza Strip. On the news this morning, you heard federal lawmakers from Rivers State visited former Governor Wike yesterday as it took a swipe at those accusing him of making demands from his successor. Activist Aisha Yusufu weighed in on former Governor Wike's response to ongoing political conflict in Rivers State. The National Assembly has passed the 2023 supplementary budget, and on the foreign scene, the Israeli army has surrounded Gaza City. The news was edited by Choma Ezenwafo. You can see pictures or watch videos of news stories when you like us on Facebook and follow us on X at NigeriaInfoPH. On Instagram, it's at NigeriaInfoFM_PH. For any eyewitness report and breaking news, text and send your WhatsApp pictures and videos to our news desk line on 0808 721 7215. Peace is a part of the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Ifechukwu Moyali. Many thanks for listening.